What is up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another demonetized video. That's right, your boy Duty is back. Just wanted to make a public announcement that yes, both my videos will be back in both quality and quantity. You should be seeing an uptick in videos from your boy Duty, both commentary and clips going forward. So enjoy, enjoy the content, and hopefully we won't have any more snags going forward with Duty's content. Anyway, of course, the first video that we need to take a look at is the DSP daily wrap from last night after, oh man, Joon The King documentary that dropped this weekend and slammed Phil right in the face. So let's see what he had to say on the daily wrap.
Good evening, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Monday, the 2nd of September, 2024. The first of a series of wild days as I begin my full reaction to my documentary by Joon The King, which released this morning. FYI, as of now, it released at 9 a.m., okay, and it is currently now 9:40 p.m. In 12 hours, this documentary has accumulated, you ready for this? Just ready for this? 225,000 views and climbing. So obviously this documentary is on the upward trend. People are watching it, and the thing is, people are going to watch it more. It's 3 hours and 42 minutes long, so not many people are going to just sit there and watch it in one go. They're probably going to go back again and again to resume it. I think this guy is going to have his best documentary ever. At least he sure deserves it for the amount of work he put into this. So let's talk. How did today?
Alrighty, well, yeah, Phil initially had positive things to say about our boy Joon during the 2-hour watch party last night, where he took I believe he saw maybe about 30 or 40 minutes. He looked at maybe 2 or 3 segments of the document of the doc, and he brushed a lot of the criticisms off with I was a drunk. You hear that a lot, and I was just joking. I was the keel. I was putting on an act. Those were his two main excuses when it came to the document and Phil reviewing it, which will probably be the ongoing excuse for everything that's highlighted in this doc. He watched it for about 2 hours and then got out as quickly as possible. He made okay support. I mean, he made good support. I think he ended up making about $254 in tips. Big ups to Bohi Pans, who dropped $200. If it wasn't for just that one dent, Phil would have been rocking $54 on this pod. So he may look at that and say, well, people are interested. Bohi Pans want to keep dropping his disability check on me. I'm going to keep doing. So he may change his schedule. He may want to get the document. He may want to get the review of the doc over with, because the first 30 or 40 minutes of it wasn't very flattering for Phil. It wasn't. It painted him to be very just bullheaded, arrogant, ignorant, rude, obstinate. It made him seem like someone that you didn't want to be around, and that came off with multiple people in that night. It wasn't just one person that didn't like Phil. It seemed like anyone that spent just a modicum of time with Phil disliked him. They found him very off-putting, and just his attitude and everything about him. And I think most of us have people in their lives who they just can't stand. They really can't. I mean, whether it's family or friends or neighbors or whatever, there's always that one person that no matter what they do, it just irritates you. They just come off as an irritant. And that's what it seems like Phil is. Phil just rubs people the wrong way. And some of it is his antisocial behavior. He doesn't know how to interact with people. He doesn't have kind of decorum. He doesn't have social norms. And I know some people blame the tism for that. He may have a form of tism of some sort. It could just be simply that he's an only child and his parents sheltered him. That could be it. We all know the story that his little mommy brushed his hair till he was 17 years old. And that's not me making that up. That's Phil. That's Phil stating those very words and blaming his mother for his jacked up hair. It could just be that. And he just never grew up having those social interactions as a child and never learned, or just didn't care to learn. That could be it as well. So this document's going to be really good. I can't wait till he gets into the whole bank leaks and the bank leaks and the WWE champions, because I think the doc shines there. It really does. And if you want my opinion on it, listening to June, it sounds like June believes that both the bank leaks are real and that Phil is down from the rafters. I mean, you can't come up with any other conclusion after watching this doc that that's what June believes, because you hear a lot of evidence, proof, overwhelming when he talks about bank leaks and he talks about the WWE champions. So let's keep seeing. Let's keep listening to Phil. Let's listen. Let's continue listening to the Cope.
Go. First of all, on the Level 1 podcast, we talked a little bit about the documentary launching and the technical issues it had because it actually crashed YouTube. No, I'm not kidding. YouTube page wouldn't even load anymore, so he had to change it from being a live premiere to an on-demand video. Particularly, the one real highlight from today's show was me ranting about Rocksteady laying off employees because Suicide Squad did poorly, even though the employees did nothing wrong, the management did. So I actually made a clip of that I'm going to put on the channel later tonight. I hope you'll enjoy that because that really is a story that should be talked about. And then we played Black with Wukong.
All right, so I did want to touch base real quick on that story. I did watch Phil rant and rave like he always does about a subject that he knows very little about, which is corporate America. I'm not going to defend a lot of these gaming companies that make decisions or poor decisions, and of course, in the end, workers kind of suffer. Not really workers, who suffers? Gamers. Gamers suffer because they pay for a product that isn't good, and in the end of that whole spectrum, it's the players that get hurt, not the people that work. It's a job. They're working in a job. They get paid. And if their employer no longer needs them or sees that their services are warranted, they can lay them off. I'm not even getting into that. My problem with Phil is just his rage and rant. Like he doesn't even notice that he seems so unhinged. If you watch that video, which I'm actually going to do a separate video on that, I mean, this guy's calling for violence. He's calling for violence. Not that, oh, they should be fired or they should lose their job or people shouldn't, or they should be accountable. No, this dude is wants to incite violence on executives, CEOs, people in positions that hold some authority at these gaming companies. What are you talking about, Phil? Should they be held accountable if their stocks drop or the game? Okay, yeah, maybe. But you act like they do this on purpose. You act like they want to make crappy games. They're making decisions to hurt their employees and gamers. No, they're making decisions on trends. On trends. These people have analytics. They have people that work in marketing. They have data. They must spend millions in data, research and development that they spend. Phil, you're so ignorant. You think that this is just one game that this company is pumping out? No. Most gaming companies on average probably are working on 5 to 8 games at a given time. And that's a normal size gaming company. Most of them never even get past the boardroom because it just doesn't seem feasible or profitable. Or it just doesn't seem like a good mix, so they just nix it. But they constantly have different games that they want to pump out. And what they're going to want to pump out is they're going to want to pump out games that, one, make money. I mean, that's what the game is, Phil. I know you like to plead ignorance and act like, oh, no one should be doing anything for money. Except for you, of course. They should be doing it for the love of the art or whatever. No, they're doing it for money, Phil. Stop being ignorant. Stop being childish. Everyone knows that game developers make games for money. I mean, and there's no secret there, okay? But he just talks out of turn, and it rubs people the wrong way. I know you're gonna have your idiots and your morons and people that support Phil that are gonna rally and say, "Wow, Phil, you really stuck it to them. You really told them what it is." No, you sound like a maniac. You don't need to say any of that. You don't need to incite violence on corporate executives because you disagree on a business decision that they made, Phil. What if someone decided to say, okay, because, all right, let's use this analogy. Phil likes to claim that he's a business, right? And I don't like how he runs his business. I think the way he runs his business is very dumb and very I wouldn't do those things. But I wouldn't sit here and tell people let's incite violence on Phil because I don't like how he runs his business. And that's essentially what Phil did in that video. It was pretty wild. Now I'm shocked that he even posted that. But of course Phil thinks that, Phil is smelling his farts now. And he thinks that everyone loves him. And he thinks that he can do no wrong and anything he does is gonna get a pass. And I'm sorry, Phil, that it doesn't work that way. You're not PewDiePie, you're not Markiplier, you're not Mr. Beast, Phil. You're Dark Side Phil, the man who fapped on screen. That's who you are, Phil. Nothing more, nothing less.
For the first stream. And we're still in chapter 3. I know, I'm making like no progress in this game because number one, it's super long. Like we're good almost 20 hours in. And I'm not even through chapter 3 of 6 yet. But the game is long as hell, challenging. And as you know, with all the crazy stuff that's been going on lately, me juggling multiple games, but also special things going on, I'm just not having a lot of time to focus on it. In fact, this is the only Black Myth Wukong stream I'm doing this entire week. Case in point. You see, I can't really play it anymore. So, it is what it is. It'll be an ongoing playthrough throughout September. I really like the game. I want to keep playing it. It just sucks. It seems to be taking forever for me to get through it. But it's great. I'm enjoying it. So you can check out the gameplay. Lots of progress there in the game. Lots of awesome bosses today, actually. Then, obviously, on tonight's late stream on DSP Reacts, it was part 1 of me reacting to the Joon The King documentary, The Eternal Downfall of Darkside Phil. And this was the first, we covered the first hour of the documentary. It took about 2.5 hours to cover it. And this covered the early days in the fighting game community, my early days as a YouTuber, all the way up until Project 7. And we stopped it at Project 7. Okay? So, good stuff. People seem to enjoy it. We had over 1,000 viewers, literally the entire stream. I don't even know how many we had because I wasn't looking. I was broadcasting. Taking a look right now, it says the peak was around 1,300, but we had a lot of viewers. The support was good, meaning we got super chats, memberships. We hit the tips goal again. Yes, 2 more streams. We crushed it. We hit the goals again. So now we're at like 31 streams. Yeah, I think we're 31 straight streams where I've hit my goals and climbing. There it is right there. So awesome. And thank you guys. People seem to really enjoy themselves. Being that this is my early days, a lot of people didn't know about a lot of this, especially people who are newcomers to my content, did not know anything about this stuff. So if you want to check it out, it's archived right now on DSP Reacts in its entirety. I did not edit the stream at all. And you can watch it right now on demand and enjoy it. It's about 2.5 hours long. So, that was today. It was a wild day. It was a good day, right? 2 channels, both getting attention, both getting support. We're going to do it all again tomorrow. So how's tomorrow going to go? Well, tomorrow, we're going to have a level 1 podcast here on DSP Gaming, and then we're going to play the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beta again. It actually runs through the 4th. Tomorrow's the 3rd. So we're going to do a second session of it. Hopefully, it'll be just as fun as the first as I continue to unlock more guns and stuff, and I'm doing really good in the game, by the way. So it should be a great stream. Then on the late stream, again...
Okay, no one cares. Yeah, the support here, if you notice the support for Phil, it's starting to dwindle down. It is. I mean, you got 1 or 2 hardcore supporters that are dropping big cash on Phil. For example, last night, Bohi Pans, God, those these dents in their names. Bohi Pans dropped $200. He dropped 2 tips of $100 a piece on Phil last night. And if it wasn't for that, Phil would have been clocking $54. That's what he'd been clocking. And of course, the dent streak would have been over. Not sure how long that's going to last. I know that I was reading chat last night and the chat was pretty mixed. A lot of people, I mean, his regular dents didn't care. But a lot of people that were in there said, damn, Phil, this doesn't make you look good. You look terrible. I mean, you saw regulars, newcomers, Kino folks that were in there that were just saying, yeah, Phil, this isn't a win for you, dude. You look terrible here. And of course, they're probably referring to later parts in the documentary. Again, especially when the focus becomes WWE champions, the bank leagues. That seems to be the 2 heavy hitters in this documentary. They spent a lot of time on both subjects, and I think Joon did a pretty good discussion on both points. The WWE champion stuff. He actually interviewed TJ Gamebox. Shout out to TJ Gamebox. He actually had Piece of Pieces spreadsheet, which was a very good tool to counter a lot of Phil's bullshit. And then also he also interviewed a few of Phil's dents, former dents, which it's hilarious because to me it just confirmed that June managed to confirm that most of Phil's viewers actually eat crowns, crayons. Yep, I'm pretty sure of it. I know the joke is out there and people call them dents, and people make fun of them and say a lot of them are probably in wheelchairs and just not mentally all there. Watch the documentary, and that comes out pretty clear that most of Phil's main supporters and viewers are a bit touched. That's all I'll say. I got some videos that I want to make about the documentary. My opinion. Of course, the two big heavy hitters, of course, will be WWE champions and the bank leaks, which I believe are the two main takeaways from this documentary. I really didn't care about the Street Fighter stuff. I didn't really care about it. Yes, I knew Phil was a terrible person. Nothing new there, and I think most people know that already. The one thing that I wish they would have covered was more his forums, his Street Fighter forums, and just the toxicity that came out of that fucking forum. Also, the Cannon Brothers stuff. They didn't touch on the Cannon Brothers and Phil's continual lie about the Cannon Brothers and netcode. So that was one thing they didn't cover. But again, the documentary is 4 hours long. You can only cover but so much. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.